We can all picture Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith. We all have our favorite battle or duel or scene where he's just intimidating somebody. But what was his actual job in the Imperial structure? It's actually pretty simple and dark. He made the Empire's threats come true. This transmission will cover Vader's actual role inside the Imperial machine, the instruments he used to enforce it, and 3 of my favorite case studies. Then we'll dive into legends and follow the through line there. He was the Emperor's personal enforcer. He was free to board any ship, enter any facility, seize any command, and make examples of anyone who disappointed the throne. Officers who failed were killed on the spot because the point was policy by terror, not bureaucracy. If Palpatine issued a decree, Vader ensured reality would fall in line. No committees, no appeals. Reborn in his black armor, Vader woke to the galaxy that he inadvertently helped create. To secure this new galactic empire, Palpatine raised the Inquisitorius. The Grand Inquisitor ran the day-to-day hunt, but Vader ruled the hunters. The mandate was simple: find any surviving Jedi or emergent Force sensitives and end the threat. Their headquarters, Fortress Inquisitorius, functioned as a black site for interrogation and planning. As time went on and the Jedi hunt cooled, the rebellion grew stronger. Vader took his jurisdiction fleet-wide. He started on a standard Star Destroyer, the Devastator. He had a custom TIE Advance X-1 and led Black Squadron, most famously during the Battle of Yavin. Eventually, he would be upgraded to a first-in-its-class Super Star Destroyer, the Executor. This would be the flagship of Vader's deadly fleet, Death Squadron. A fleet composed of multiple Star Destroyers, all with a complement of ships of their own, that concentrated power wherever it went. Don't think of Death Squadron as a unit, but think of it as Darth Vader's mobile jurisdiction. With Vader standing outside the formal ranks of the Imperial military structure, he's able to stand above everyone within the ranks without bureaucracy getting in the way of his brutal effectiveness. Officers would justify this as it being the Emperor's prerogative, or they would just keep their thoughts to themselves and hope to survive Vader's presence. Vader would partner with some within the regular military ranks as needed, like Tarkin. This was done either by Vader's choice or the Emperor's command when the goals needed to be aligned. While the Inquisitors and his intimidating fleet were effective at the chaos and fear that they could sow, Vader was also personally skilled in intervening up close using terror as a policy to feed the anger and hate swirling inside him. He'd throw himself into battle ahead of his troops and often would get the job done before any backup was needed. If you're getting value or entertainment out of any of my transmissions, it would mean a lot if you would join the Remnant and subscribe. Now we're going to look at 3 case studies proving everything I just went over about Darth Vader. These are not in any kind of rank or order about how intimidating he is. These are just 3 of my personal favorite because he's so awesome. In 18 BBY, Mon Cala will not cave to Imperial pressure. There's a hidden Jedi advisor on the planet who gets the Empire's attention. Governor Tarkin explicitly requests Vader's help in securing King Lee Char to bring an end to this insurgency quickly. Vader grants Tarkin's wish in a brutal crackdown that forces the reshaping of galactic politics for years. This full story can be found in the Darth Vader comic run from 2017, Burning Seas. I cannot recommend that comic run enough. Jumping ahead a little bit to 14 BBY, a small rebellion broke out on the Twi'lek world of Ryloth. The Free Ryloth movement was led by Cham Syndulla, future General Hera Syndulla's father. They weren't content with disrupting supply lines or small attempts at making local governors or moffs have a headache. They wanted to cut the head off the beast entirely. They formulated an elaborate plan to eliminate Vader and Palpatine while the two were in transit together, which was a very rare thing to happen. This story is told in the novel Lords of the Sith, which has some of the coolest Vader moments and also shows Palpatine getting his hands dirty after becoming the Emperor. Vader acts as a bodyguard, hunter, and butcher, a violent dog let off his leash. He stomps out insurgency with personal fury as he and his master are targeted. Despite the daring plan of Cham and his allies, those who would stand against the regime catch wind that this is not a beast that will go down quietly. Jumping further forward to 5 BBY, on the Outer Rim world of Lothal, the rebellion is growing. Vader arrives and sees what's going on. He locks the entire planet down on his own authority. He makes Lothal a pressure cooker, waiting for something to burst that will bring the rebel cell out so that he can eliminate it. Quote, "If the rebels have left, then we must draw them back, and if they are here, we must draw them out. We will squeeze Lothal until someone reveals the whereabouts of these traitors. In this case, he wins through terror. He uses the local government, the ISB, and the Navy as his weapons. Those who live through this police state won't soon forget what Vader's undivided attention can really mean. This story is fully explored in Star Wars Rebels: The Siege of Lothal. As I mentioned, these are three of my personal favorite examples of Vader in his prime. They show different aspects of the man and the power that he wields in different mediums, all with the same dark through line of Vader's thirst for terror. Whether used against his allies, or underlings is probably more precise, or his enemies, fear was the point. Whenever Vader shows up to put down a rebellion, enact martial law, kill an incompetent officer, or oversee a project running behind schedule, the message he screams, without necessarily saying a word, is that the Empire is non-negotiable. People fall in line because they're afraid of what happens if they don't. Vader had Black Squadron for the Battle of Yavin, and Death Squadron for the remainder of the Galactic Civil War. Looking to Legends, we meet the now infamous 501st, Vader's Fist. This was his personal arm of the military. I believe the 501st initially appeared in 2006's Dark Times #1, but it can be seen all throughout the Star Wars universe, within the universe and without. This arm of the military served the same purpose and themes as Vader and his naval powers. I'm just going to interrupt for 1 second. Today's video is sponsored by me. Imperial Remnant now has a merch store, and it's not just designed specific to the channel. I'm working with a couple talented artists to bring you unique Star Wars themed designs. Check out the link in the description. All right, back to the lore. There will be a full transmission all about the 501st and how this group exists in Legends, canon, and even outside the Star Wars universe. I hope this transmission taught you something about Darth Vader and his actual role in and around the military and the Empire as a whole. But there is a very important lesson to take away. Fear scales, but it doesn't last. Vader could make governors obedient and fleets punctual, but fear breeds brittle loyalty and buried mistakes. Endor proves this. If you remove the Master, the whole organization collapses very soon after. Vader kept the Empire moving by terror, and the Empire died because terror was all that it had. We can actually tie this to a lesson that Yoda teaches Luke on Dagobah. When Luke asks Yoda, "Is the dark side stronger?" Yoda tells him that it's faster, but not necessarily stronger. The idea is that giving into your emotions and falling into fear and rage and anger is a shortcut to getting what you think is power, but it's not long-term sustainable. That scales out and upward for the Empire as it is led by the Dark Side Emperor. Check out this transmission next for more Star Wars lore.